It's going to be another beautiful day in late fall. It's almost winter here. Yesterday I was out with Jim and Kurt in the park down the street that I've really beat up last year, or this year, at the beginning of this year, 9 months ago, with the Deus 2 and the Legend. And, you know, my other detectors too, with the Simplex, the ORX, the Deus 1, Deus 2, a lot of machines I've hunted there. And the site just came alive yesterday all of a sudden. We were there for about 2 hours, and then just all of a sudden, just targets just started coming out everywhere. Jim got a gold ring in a spot that I beat the crap out of. And he had a small coil, on the Legend, and Jim found a merit badge yesterday in the iron too, in the thick iron. And Jim was going for jewelry, and he was digging out a lot of iffy tones. He wanted to find gold, and Jim and Kurt and I were going deep, so we had the bigger coils on the Legend, the 11-inch coil. And you learn a lot every day you go out. You learn a lot more than you think. You learn a lot about your companions, who you're hunting with, about their digging style, and you know, kind of what frequencies are going to work, are going to be compatible with each other when you're hunting around other people. So you can learn how to do that, you know, how to manage your frequencies so you're not getting too much EMI. And you learn a lot about the site, you know, and the site, you know, I've just brought so many machines there, and we were just finding so many targets. You got to change it up, right? Just change your frequencies, change your modes, change your coils, change your detectors, and go there different times of the year. Sometimes just out of the blue, you know, a site just comes alive, you know, for a couple hours, and then it just dies out, you know, and you can be hunting in the same exact spots. You know, I'm sure I've swung my coil over that gold ring that Jim found many times, and that merit badge that Jim found yesterday in the dump too, in the iron. You know, we go over the same spots with just different detectors. It's what you got to do, and you learn a lot about your detectors when you're out too, and you learn about just the fundamentals of metal detecting. You learn the more you hunt a certain site, the more you begin to understand that you're never going to get most of it out of the ground. You're never going to get most of it out of the ground. There's always so much more left in these spots that we hunt. You know, we just don't have a chance, right? We don't have a chance. But that's what makes it fun, right? You never know what you're going to find for the day. And to get gold, you really got to dig some really crappy, iffy tones. Most of my gold rings that I've ever found in the 30 years that I've been detecting, most of the gold rings have been really iffy tones. And they read up differently when they're in the ground as when they come out of the ground, right? That's just one of the things that's really hard to understand about gold. You know, it's a lower conductive metal, so the ground can do a lot of weird stuff. The ground minerals can do a lot of weird stuff to gold targets when they're deeper in the ground. Not even deeper in the ground, just a few inches. You know, metal detectors are just the same, right? You just got to learn how to dial them in. You know, some people might say, oh no, they're not the same. Well, they all do the same thing, and I have been detecting for a long time, and if you have your detector dialed, if two people have different detectors and they have that detector dialed in right, and they know that detector, you're going to be both hitting on the same stuff. Eventually you're going to be hitting on the same stuff. You know, if you're changing your programs and learning about the detector and learning the site, learning if there's deeper targets, or learning if there's a lot of rings there, just digging a lot of junk. You know, it's just the way you learn, is digging junk out and learning what the good targets sound like, the deeper good targets sound like, and not digging up so much big iron. You know, that site that we were at yesterday, I've dug up a lot of big iron. I'm telling you, I've filled up the garbage can many times in that park. Like I said, I've been hunting on that park for 25 years, and stuff just relics just still continue to be popping out. I found a really old flat button yesterday with a shank on it. I found 3 flat buttons in that park this year. Some of my oldest buttons I found have been in that park in the last year. Some of my oldest buttons, you know, I've found plenty of old buttons before, but you know, that park has a lot of really good stuff in it. Jim is gonna come pick me up today. I'm gonna go hunting with a few guys today over at a school. 4 people. Paul, Kurt, Jim, and me. We're gonna hit a school there. Hopefully we can hit on some jewelry. Jim found some jewelry there yesterday after Jim was over at where we were at. Jim went over to a school near his house, and he went hit on a couple bracelets, or a couple chains or necklaces. I can't remember exactly what he said, but a couple necklaces or bracelets. So we're gonna go there today. I'm gonna bring a couple detectors and a few coils. So it's gonna be a whole day event. You know, it was pretty cold this morning. So, well, thank you for watching.